This is problem number 7. A person plans to invest $7,000 in a CD account at 2.3% and a mutual fund at 9.9%. Let X be the money invested in the CD at 2.3 and Y is the money invested in the mutual fund at 9.9%. Part A, they want us to find the interest, the total interest in dollars, but only as a function of X. Okay, so let's see how we can start this off. Let's take a look at the amount that they have. The amount that they put into the CD is X, and then the amount that they add or that they put into the mutual fund is Y, and then all that should equal to 7,000. So remember that this is a CD, this is the mutual fund. So what we want to do is find the interest. So the interest is going to be given by the amount that you put in the CD times 2.3%, and then the amount that you put into the mutual fund times 9.9%. So now we want to write this as, with decimals, 0.023x plus 0.099y. Now, unfortunately, this is not just a function of x. So if we want a function of x, that is, we want this to be an expression with only x variables, we need to do something with this y. So what we need to do is we need to look at the y here and notice that there's another y relationship here. So let's take this equation, x plus y is equal to 7,000, and let's solve for y so that we can replace this y. And we get 7,000 minus x. So in place of that y, we will put 7,000 minus x. So let's rewrite this as 0.023 times x plus 0.99, let's say 0.099 times 7,000 minus x. So now we can leave it like that, I suppose, but we can also simplify it, especially if we think we're going to work on with this later on. So we're simplifying this, f of x is equal to 0.023x plus, now we need to multiply 0.099 times 7,000, and I get 693 minus 0.099x. So last thing I want to do is I want to subtract that. So I'm going to get 0.023 minus 0.099, and I get negative 0.076. 0.076x plus 693. So this would be our answer for part A. So this is the interest by a function of how much we put into our CD account. Alright, let's take a look at part B. It says a minimum of $2,400 is required for the CD. Describe the various possible earnings from investing $7,000 in the accounts for 1 year. So we have $7,000 going into both accounts, and the minimum for the CD is $2,400. Well, fortunately, we have the interest rate, or the total interest, described here as a function of how much we put into the CD. So we have minimum for CD is going to be an X value of 2,400, and then so we can put up to the maximum for the CD, which is going to be 7,000. That's like putting all your eggs in one basket, so to speak. We put all our money into the CD account and none for that 3-year mutual fund. And so what we want to do is essentially find the range of values here. So we basically want to, fortunately we have a function in terms of X already, so what if we put $2,400 in for X? We'll figure out our interest there, and then we'll put $7,000 in for X. And we can compute our interest, and we'll see the various possible earnings for our combination account. So what we want to do is we want to put X in here, so we have negative 0.076 times 2,400 plus 693, and 0.076 times 7,000 plus 693. Okay, so let's figure out our range of values. Let's use our calculator. We have this number. We want to multiply that by 2,400, and then we want to add 693. That's 510 and 60 cents. And so let's do the same for the second one. We got 0.076. That's a negative times 700 or 7,000 plus 693. By the way, the calculator knows the order of operations, so it knows to do the multiplication first before the addition. And so this is, if there's at any point that you're unsure, make sure you use parentheses. It's $161. So these are the range of values. You can, if you put all your money into the CD, which is only at 2.3%, you're going to get your smallest amount of interest possible in this combination account. If you put 24,000 into the CD, and so the rest of the money, the rest of the money would be about 4,600. If you put the rest of that money into the mutual fund, you're going to get a total amount of of interest of $510.60. So that's it for part B. Part C, how much of the 7,000 should be invested into each account so that the total interest earned is 300. All right, so for this one, what we're going to do is we're going to note that the interest, we want that to be 300, and our interest function is a function of X. And it's the same function that we've been working with. So we want our interest to be equal to 300, and then it looks like we're going to be solving for X here. So let's subtract. And then I get negative 0.076x is equal to looks like the 693 is larger, so I'm going to get 393 negative. So if I subtract that, I get a negative 393. And then now I want to divide both sides by negative 0.076. So I'll have x is equal to, let's take a look at that division. It's 393 negative divided by 0.076, and that's also negative, so a negative and a negative will give us a positive value, and that's 5171.05. So what is this? This is your x value, so we're going to invest 5171.05 in the CD at 2.3%. So, but that's not all they ask. They ask how much should we invest in each account. So we know that the CD has 5171, so the rest of the 7,000 is going to go into the mutual fund. And so what we want to do to get Y is basically subtract this value from 7,000. So that would be 7,000 minus 5171.05. Let's try again. 5171.05. So that's 1828.95. So we're going to invest 1828 and 95. By the way, that's what we got from the subtraction. In the mutual fund, and the mutual fund is the one that's 9.9%. Okay, so that's our answer for part C. Okay, hope that helps.